And they came to the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gergesenes. And after he came forth out of the ship, straightway there met him out of the sepulchres a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the sepulchres. And no one was able to bind him, not even with chains, because he often had been bound, and the chains had been torn asunder by him, and the fetters had been broken in pieces, and no one was able to tame him. And throughout the night and day he was in the mountains and in the sepulchres, crying out and cutting himself to pieces with stones. But after he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and made obeisance to him, and he cried out with a loud voice and said, "What is it to me and to thee, Jesus, Son of God the Most High? I adjure thee by God, do not begin to torment me." For he was saying to him, "Come forth, thou spirit, the unclean one, out of the man." And he was questioning him, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "Legion is my name, because we are many." And he was beseeching him much that he would not send them away outside the country. Now there was there toward the mountains a great herd of swine feeding, and all the demons besought him, saying, "Send us to the swine, that we might enter into them." And straightway Jesus gave them leave. And the spirits, the unclean ones, went out and entered into the swine. Now they were about 2,000. And the herd rushed down the cliff into the sea, and they were drowned in the sea. And they who fed the swine fled, and brought back tidings to the city and to the country. And they went out to see what it was that had taken place. And they came to Jesus, and beheld the one who had been possessed by demons and had the legion, sitting and clothed, and of sound mind, and they were afraid. And they who saw related to them how it happened to the one who had been possessed by demons, and concerning the swine. And they began to beseech him to depart from their borders. And while he embarked into the ship, the one who had been possessed by demons was beseeching him that he might be with him. And Jesus did not allow him, but saith to him, "Go to thy house and to thine own, and bring tidings to them how much the Lord did for thee, and pitied thee." And he departed, and began to proclaim in Decapolis how much Jesus did for him, and all were marveling. And after Jesus crossed over again in the ship to the other side, a great crowd was gathered to him, and he was by the sea. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, by the name Jairus. And after he saw him, he fell at his feet, and was beseeching him very much, saying, "My little daughter is at her end. So come and lay thy hands on her, that she might be made well, and she shall live." And he went away with him. And a great crowd was following him and pressing upon him. And a certain woman who had a flow of blood for 12 years, and who suffered much under many physicians, and spent all from her own means, and was not profited at all, but rather came to be the worse for it, after she heard about Jesus, came in the crowd behind and touched his garments. For she was saying within herself, "If I might but touch his garments, I shall be made well." And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she knew in her body that she had been healed from the scourge. And Jesus, straightway, having fully known in himself that the power from him went forth, turned around in the crowd and was saying, "Who touched me on my garments?" And his disciples were saying to him, "Thou seest the crowd pressing on thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me?" And he kept on looking around himself to see her who had done this. And the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing that which had been done for her, came and fell down before him, and told him all the truth. And he said to her, "Daughter, thy faith hath made thee well. Go in peace, and be sound in body from thy scourge." While he yet spoke, some came from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying, "Thy daughter died. Why art thou still troubling the teacher?" But Jesus, after he heard the word spoken, straightway saith to the ruler of the synagogue, "Cease being afraid, only keep on believing." And he allowed no one to follow along with him, except Peter and James and John, the brother of James. And he cometh to the house of the ruler of the synagogue, and seeth a tumult, and the crowd weeping and wailing greatly. And after he entered, he saith to them, "Why are ye being clamorous and weeping? The little child did not die, but sleepeth." And they kept on laughing scornfully at him. But when he put all out, he took the father of the child and the mother, and those with him, and entered in where the little child was lying. And he laid hold of the little child's hand, and saith to her, "Talitha cumi," which is being interpreted, "Little girl, I say to thee, arise." And straightway the little girl arose and was walking about, for she was 12 years old. And they were amazed with great ecstasy. And he himself earnestly gave them express orders that no one should know this. And he said that something should be given to her to eat.